So, Zeke, I think it's time we finally discuss this very compelling MVP race this year between Russell Wilson. I almost said Deshaun Watson because of last night. Russell Wilson and Lamar Jackson. We've been talking about Deshaun all morning, so I almost said his name.
We have. It's definitely a very compelling race.
Yes.
It's close. Lamar, man, I got to give the man credit. He's doing things that I haven't seen since Mike Vick. And if you look at it, Lamar is on pace to shatter Mike Vick's records, which is absolutely crazy because watching Mike Vick when I was a young kid was like watching a video game.
Oh, know? Yeah. I was like Madden 2004 on screen.
Yeah, it was like, it was nuts. So Lamar is playing out of his mind right now. As far as Lamar goes, though, you got to give him the team that he has. You know, Mark Ingram has been balling. Okay, the offensive line is somewhat solid for them for sure. And Baltimore's a scary defense.
He has a tremendous supporting cast.
So
I will say this though, Lamar Jackson, if you go on to next gen stats, he is statistically inferior to Russell Wilson. But why Lamar Jackson will win MVP this year if this trend continues to go as it has been? Russell Wilson is a seasoned player. Lamar Jackson is an emerging player. It's the same as selecting Coach of the Year, MVP. The committee will always side with an emerging player because that's where the hype is. There's a tremendous amount of hype and momentum built behind Lamar Jackson. That's who the media is favoring. That's who the masses are favoring, and that's ultimately who the committee will favor. Think about how many times in the past 5 years has Tom Brady won the MVP,
right,
or LeBron James. When LeBron James in 2017 through 18 had arguably his best year ever, his last year in Cleveland, he lost the MVP to James Harden.
Yeah.
You could argue that LeBron James deserved it.
Yeah.
But because James Harden was emerging at that time, remember the year before was his downslope when he scored 10 points in Game 5 against the Spurs. Mm-hmm. So that was James Harden's breakout year. I can allude to that race this year. I think you'll have a similar outcome. I believe if I were to vote, I would select Russell Wilson just because of his really lack of a supporting cast around him, and what he's been able to manufacture and invent around him. He's been tremendous. He's statistically doing things that quarterbacks have never done before.
Right.
And a small market like Seattle, I would select it. And he doesn't get much exposure.
Right.
As Lamar Jackson.
That's fair.
Lamar Jackson is at a much larger market. He's broadcast on major television networks more than the Seahawks are. When you combine all those factors together, it clearly favors Lamar Jackson.
It does, but like you said, if I was to vote, I would go Russell. I mean,
yeah, me too.
Russell, it's not that Russell doesn't have a good team around him because he has a lot of solid pieces around him. Metcalf's been playing all right for him. Tyler Lockett's always... Him and Tyler Lockett have a connection that I haven't seen in a long time throughout the league. They have a great connection, those two. And Seattle's defense isn't what it used to be with the Legion of Boom, but it's still a solid defense. Russell Wilson, though, the way... the smart plays he makes and his decision-making is amazing. He doesn't really throw interceptions, He's very low on his interceptions.
He's very efficient. He's a very efficient quarterback.
Yeah, so you got to give him that. Lamar, like I said, I like him, but he's got to do better throwing the ball still. And it's going to improve, and it has been improving. I'll give you that. No offense to the Baltimore fans, but it's just the truth. I respect the kid's game. He does do good things. I mean, and they did go into Seattle and they did beat him. I'll give him that. But I mean, I think Seattle's kind of battled a little bit tougher teams than Baltimore. Yeah. Granted, Baltimore did beat New England.
They have
and Seattle did beat San Fran. So I mean, they both have played good teams.
That's high strength of schedule. Very high strength of schedule.
I would vote for Russell Wilson, but realistically, with all the hype and the way he's running the ball, Lamar's probably
and also consider college football. Yeah, I'm going to draw an analogy here. For the Heisman Trophy, you always have the Heisman moment.
Right.
That one iconic moment that defines your season, captures it in a nutshell. Mm-hmm. Lamar Jackson has that. Russell Wilson arguably does too, but Lamar's has been more compelling. Russell Wilson had the pass to Tyler Lockett in the end zone against that had a 6% chance of completion against the Rams.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson had the spin move and the sunglasses on afterwards. It's very comparable to Patrick Mahomes' no-look pass of last year and the hand switch against the Broncos on Monday Night Football. Mm-hmm. He's had those moments. That's why I'm favoring Lamar Jackson. I would personally pick Russell Wilson, But I know that that's not what the committee's going to do.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same thing. I would vote for Russell, but Lamar's probably going to win it. So it's unfortunate that's how it goes nowadays, but it's the reality of things.